I sent back 2 regulators today in the post from overseas with the complaint that they'd received them broken and unworking and leaking. This is one. This was an Air Arms regulator, the most popular regulator that we sell, and the outer body case size should be 27.47 millimeters nominal. Somebody has machined this down to 27.16, so if it was going in an Air Arms, I'm not surprised it's leaking because it's well under size. I don't know if you can see this, but the damage to it is just absolutely horrendous. You can see all the marks on it when, you know, the tail on here is made to pull it out, and there's a thread in the piston. What the hell has happened to that, I do not know. That's one. The second regulator that came back was this one, which was for a KRAL. This is very much in the same sort of condition. Nothing at all like it left here. As you can see, I think I better just get a couple of new ones for example to show alongside them. There's a brand new Mark 9 Air Arms. That's how you would receive it, in that condition there, along with all the rest of the accessories in the kit pack. And this is a KRAL, but without the spacer cut down, because we cut them down to suit the order, so the length of this front section does alter depending on the order. But there you go, that's that. You can see both seriously different in condition to what these have been returned in, and the joke with this is the customer wasn't happy and wanted new ones shipping out for free, when obviously they've been completely and utterly bastardised. You probably can't see through the screw there, but the screw's been remachined inside to a different shape, the pressure adjuster screw. These things are generally designed, you know, to be serviced by everybody worldwide. It comes out with a spare seals pack. There's been a video online about servicing videos, and there is a manual on the website. They're made very simple, very robust. I haven't really ever had any come back broken unless somebody has admitted to buggering about with them, you know, and in which case if they've admitted to it and said, oh, I've been a bit of a silly lad, then that's fair enough. But saying that's how it's gone out and that's the, you know, the rubbish product that we supply is absolutely beyond belief. Now the joke with this was, the complaint was they're leaking. Now whether if they're leaking from the outside seal, that's down to fitting, that's not down to the regulator's internal, and that's down to you to make it a good seal. As long as it's the right size and it's got a new seal and you've lubed it well, then you know, the inside's the bit that counts. The outside and fitting is down to marks in your pressure tube and that sort of thing. So the joke with this was, when they came back in such a mess, I thought, oh, there's absolutely no chance on earth either of these regulators are going to work, because they've both been marmalised, and I could see that the screws were altered. Anyway, so to start with, I put this, the Air Arms, put it in the test jig straight away, and the air was leaking out of the breathe hole, and upon taking the pressure adjuster screw out at the back, that brass screw, the seal wasn't in there, the 4mm by 2mm section stem seal. So we popped a brand new seal in there, pushed it down firmly, and that's all I did. We then put it on the regulator tester, and away it went, knocking bang out 120 bar. No problems, no creeps, and it was working. So we'll give that another quick go, see if we can do that now. Stick that in there. Let me just pop the camera down for a second whilst I screw this all up with my fingers. Hopefully that'll be tight enough, just finger tight, because I've just took this to bits to bang it on the bench to get the camera to it. So that's that back in. So hopefully, let's I don't know how much air's in this bottle, about 140 I reckon. Is it? Yeah, there's 140 in there. Anyway, there's no leaks coming from this regulator as far as I'm aware, even the condition it's in. If I put some silicone on the breathe hole, can't see any bubbles coming out of that. We'll pump some air now, squeeze some in, so there's plenty in there. There we go, Looks alright to me. And then if we roll this thing over carefully on the bench top, whoops, there, what's it saying? About 120 bar. So hopefully if I can wedge this round, will it stay there? Come on, you swine, let me wedge something against it. One of them old knackered regulators, might as well do it. So let's have a look at the being as that regulator's come back here completely and utterly chuffed. There you go. Regulator still works, working at 110 because I've actually had it to bits since I took it out of the packet this morning to check it because I wanted to see how knackered the screw was. So that's that. Job's a good one. Let's switch the gas off and let that out. And that was very much the case for the totally knackered up KRAL regulator as well. That was also working. So considering, you know, the abuse they've had, you know, I'm absolutely shocked. So we might as well bang this KRAL in. Let me put that camera just down on the bench again. Then we pull the front off this KRAL. We'll whack it in the tester. Take that Air Arms one out. Now when I put this one in the tester earlier on, I actually had to fire the bit off it and hit it with the hammer because that is how damaged the body case was. So I don't know what that's going to be set at. I think that's back in the same setting as it was when it arrived. Anyway, clamp that back up. Right, squeeze that together. There we go. Hopefully again this one's also not leaking from the breathe hole. Shouldn't be. Doesn't seem to be any little slow bubbles coming out of there yet, so that's all looking good. Although the pressure on this, I guess what it was set at was close to what the yeah, it's set at about 140, so that's not really good for doing a test, but it's not leaking. Although I'll tell you what I could do quickly, very quickly. We'll switch the pressure off. Sorry about that, absolutely fucking. Oh no, wait there. Oh, this shows that the reg's working. Hold on, lads. There's the regulator. Still holding pressure, still working, perfect, look. Right, here's the bottle. We've let the air out the bottle. Let me unsnap it. There we go, we're not connected to the bottle anymore. It's not some form of bloody party trick. There's the regulator, it's holding gas in that setup. It's not leaking out the breathe hole. Super, it's just what you want. Right, so hopefully if I get that to just rest it against the dive bottle. Oh god, can be a bit crude. Let's bang that with the hammer and the pressure should disappear. There we go, pressure's gone. So that's both regulators come back working. Now let's have a look at the state of them inside. Right, there the camera sit on there. No, I'll stick it on that plastic box. Let's whip this to bits, shall we, lads? And have a look at what a mess it's in. And yet it still seems to be functioning. Right, there's something to whip it to bits with. Where's my pliers? Right. Here we go. Sorry if the jerky camera work's making you feel sick. I'm just trying to think how to hold this quickly. I just sort of set this up at the moment because I was that bloody mad. Let me see. There we go. So I'll just hold this by hand in front of the camera. So this is that KRAL regulator we just had a mess about with. So right, let's take the screw out. That's the pressure adjuster screw. There we go. As you can see, the end of that's been buggered about by the customer. Look, it should have a nice flat front on it, like that, and it's not. Someone's coned it, but you can see it's well used. So that's that screw. I'd already just noticed. You can see the circlip. Look at that. It's nice and bent. Someone's done a good job of bending that stainless circlip in there. Absolute star they are. Right, let's get that out of there. Let's get my little puller out, and we'll pull that piston out and see what condition it's in. Now, some of you, if you're dead bright and you're dead into regulators, might have noticed this is a Mark 8 regulator. Slightly different on the front here. So obviously the customer's had it for some time, because the Mark 9s were issued first on the 4th of April 2017. So there we go. I don't know if you can see, but there's green verdigris off the brass down inside there where it's been used. Here's the piston, look, there you go. So it's hardly in the best of condition. I don't know what the customer's put in it or been using it for, or whether he's washed it out and not cleaned it, but I have a lot of regulators to service from different companies, not just their own, other air gun regulators and industrial regulators, and normally they do look like this. They do get as shitty and as knackered as this. Normally it takes some considerable time. This is a Mark 8, which means it's a year or two old, but it's obviously suffered some hammer, and it's certainly not been sent out to the customer like that. So hopefully we should just be able to pop it back together again. And I haven't got time, I think the battery's going flat, but I reckon if we pop that back together with a circlip and bang the screw back in, yet again it would still work. And yet you can see this morning when I first received it and was in a really foul mood, how much damage is on it. I couldn't get it to go in the tester because the case is actually bent. That's just beyond belief. Well, I just can't believe it. Someone sends that back saying they've not had it very long, and my regulator's knackered up their gun. Well, obviously, so if you see anything on any forums, which you probably will do, saying about yeah, I do fall out with people. I cannot be the nicest person in the world, but I do try to offer good customer service to honest customers who take the time with honest questions. People who abuse and wreck the product, I mean, what do you call this? You send this back, well, probably maybe a couple of years after it's been purchased. And even if you bought it brand new old stock from somebody else, you know, 2 weeks ago, look at it. I mean, look at this Air Arms one. I'm quite proud of that, actually, that it's still working. Look at it. I mean, the case is just completely and utterly 100% knackered. I don't know what they've been doing. Let's have a look inside this one. Let's pull this little bugger to bits. That will work in. Let's see. See what a state it's in. I'll tell you what though, at least to put the circuits back together in the right way round. Most people wouldn't do that, so maybe that's just look of judgment that the circuit's fitted correctly. But this one's not so bad, look, is it? Someone's not been squirting water and crap or whatever inside that, because that's quite nice and clean, really, to be honest. So that's that. Let's whip the screw out. And see how badly abused this has been. Here we go. That one's been coned off as well, but it's not as coned off as the if you look at the two that have been abused, the bottom one's out the KRAL, top one's out of the Air Arms. You can see that's not so bad, and the Air Arms one is missing one screw or one 3mm nylon ball Delrin ball bearing, but there you go. So that is my, I don't know, rant for the day, more like rant of a lifetime, I think. Just look at it. Go on, take some seconds just to look at the abuse offered to that regulator. That's how it left here. Look at that, eh? We just popped it in the regulator tester and they were both still working. Far beyond what I thought. I just thought they'd be completely and utterly gone. But you got to admire as well the lathe skills on the out here. I'll tell you what, I've rushed some jobs out for engineering companies on big machines when we've got a job on, and it's not really, you know, mattered because it's an outside piece of metal when they're in a rush. But I'll tell you what, the machining's better than on that. Looks like you put it on a bloody grinding wheel or a flat disc. You know, just ridiculous. So if you see anybody mouthing off on the forums, here, there, anywhere in the world, saying, oh, I sent some regulators in and he won't replace them, there, that's why. I'm not replacing that. I wouldn't expect you, if you're a car company, bloody aircraft company, the local coal merchant, or anybody else, to be serving up free spares when people return stuff to you like that. Rant over.